Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Richard Strauss's Elektra with conductor Esa-Pekka, which was live from the Verbier Festival. I was anticipating this particular concert version of Elektra because of the three leading ladies, Frau Lindstrom as Elektra, Frau Brimberg as Chrysothemis, and Frau Larsson as Clytemnestra. I'll gladly talk about them right now, starting off with our title heroine, sung by Frau Lindstrom. As I stated before in my review of her performance as Turandot, live from the Royal Opera House, she has a good voice. She has good musicianship and also great theatricality. Unfortunately, we have at our disposal all the great Elektras of the past, and those are, in my opinion, Gertrud Rönger, Erna Schlüter, Helena Braun, Astrid Varnay, Gerda Lammers, Gertrud Grob-Prandtl, Birgit Nilsson, Ludmila Dvorakova, Amy Sherwood, Ingrid Steger, Sigrid Kehl, Gwyneth Jones, Janice Martin, Margit Ersje, Deborah Pulaski, Isolde Eichler, and maybe to some extent Gabriele Schnaut, and what we've been having today were the likes of Evelyn Herlitzius, Janice Baird, Katharina de Leiman, and Christine Gerke. That's not to say that Miss Lindstrom was a bad singer. In fact, she held up on her own really well. Her strengths as a singing actress more than outweigh the shortcomings, and she was a fierce singing actress. She was able to make Elektra clever, spunky, sarcastic, and she manages to make her seethe with the appropriate amount of vengeance that she craves for without making her go too over the top. And she was, as always, a gorgeous figure on stage. I really would have loved this not to be a concert version because it would have also made me see Frau Lindstrom's prowess as a dancer, as she has a sleek, slim, and gorgeous body, which I'm sure she would have put to great advantage for that death dance, which I'm always looking forward to in Elektra. And she was, as always, a solid interpreter of this role. Yes, she may not have the richest, roundest, nor most booming voice ever, the one I'd always expect in a true hochdramatische Sopran, but her talents as a singing actress, her overall musicianship, and her commitment, her dedication, and her diligence certainly shone in her portrayal of Elektra, and she was just fabulous in her own special way. Ingela Brimberg was wonderful as Chrysothemis. She also sang the titular role, much like her predecessors being Ingrid Bjona, Goethe Ljungberg, and even Lene Rizanek, and of course Gwyneth Jones, who not only sang Chrysothemis but also the titular heroine and even Clytemnestra. With Ingela Brimberg, I definitely love the color of her voice. It has that roundness and richness I love in any dramatic soprano. She has superb musicianship, and she was able to sing all of her notes with such a focused and nice tone. And I can definitely tell that she was able to throw herself into this particular character. And her vocal chemistry alongside Frau Lindstrom as the Elektra was really well done. I definitely love it when I hear two big voice dramatic sopranos sing the roles of Chrysothemis and Elektra respectively, and they did just that. They sang their roles really well. However, there are times I'm sort of missing something in Ingela Brimberg's voice. I would have loved to hear that very exciting timbre that is expected in the likes of Leonie Rezanek, Hildegard Hillebrecht, and of course Ingrid Bjona, and of course Gwyneth Jones in her prime when she was singing Chrysothemis. But I have to say that her meticulousness, her great musicianship, and her theatricality more than outweigh the caveats that she's had. She certainly is a solid singer, and she definitely has a wonderful voice and great theatricality to boot, thus bringing the role of Chrysothemis to life. Anna Larsson definitely knows how to make Clytemnestra a tragic anti-heroine. The way she was able to move around the stage, the way she was able to express herself, the way she was able to emit such guilt, anguish, and such agony that she feels throughout her scene makes her very palpable and quite believable in this particular role. While I would have loved to have a rounder, richer, fuller timbre with the likes of Res Fischer and Margarete Klose, a couple of singers who I consider to be true contraltos, or even the likes of Eva Podlesch, or even have a little bit of Reinhild Runkers and of course Astrid Varnay's menace to have been injected in this particular character, I still have to say that Anna Larsson did a fine job with embodying Clytemnestra. She didn't make her too much of an over-the-top caricature with her cackling and her constant screaming and yelling. No. She did away with all that, and she was able to make her still noble and proud, but at the same time have that sense of agony, anguish, and a lot of these really horribly bad vibes just gnawing at her very being. And she did just that. She was completely believable as a guilt-ridden queen who still had enough beauty in everything that she is as a woman, and at the same time, she was a solid mezzo contralto. Her voice had that bloom and richness and beauty which I love in Frau Anna Larsson, and at the same time, she knew how to throw herself into this particular character, using a great deal of dignity, nobility, and at the same time, lots of dimension to make Clytemnestra come to life. Eric Owens was a sonorous, booming, and noble Orest. I also saw him in this particular role 1 year ago when he sang this live from the Metropolitan Opera House. And as to be expected, he was certainly in his element when it comes to playing all of these ambiguous characters, thanks to his velvety, round, rich, cavernous, and sonorous basso voice. It has a plushness which I love. It has a nobility which I adore. And it has a focus in the timbre which I deeply admire. He was a superb vocalist from beginning to end. He had superb musicianship. He had a strong presence, not only vocally, but theatrically, and he did a lot of great work singing the role of Orest. Wolfgang Ablinger-Speerhacke's Aegist was superbly sung and superbly acted, and while I would have loved to have a more Heldentenori voice singing this role, a la Ramon Vinay or Hans Beira, I still have to give a lot of credit to Herr Ablinger-Speerhacke for a job well done when it comes to how he portrayed this role. He was able to make him quite slimy and at the same time quite the intimidating person. He did a fine job with this pretty thankless character, all thanks to his superb sounding character tenor voice and really fantastic acting. We also had such wonderful singing from the likes of Jasper Leifer's Tutor and Old Servant, in which his fine, velvety, and cavernous basso voice was put to great use. Andrew Staples' youthful, energetic, and spirited young servant, in which his lyric tenor voice was also put to such fabulous use. Alexandra Rybakova's superb overseer and confidant, even though I would have loved to have a more dramatic mezzo slash dramatic falcon voice sing the role of the overseer, but despite all that, I still have to give a lot of credit to Miss Rybakova for her superb musicianship and the focus which she gives to these particular roles, and I can definitely tell that she's got a bright future ahead of her. And of course, let's not forget about the Five Maids, who were sung by Idunu Munch, whose superb mezzo-soprano voice has a lot of great opportunities for singing the more dramatic roles. Anastasia Sidorova's gorgeous lyric mezzo voice. Bethan Langford's equally gorgeous and mellifluous lyric mezzo voice. Anna Harvey's superb sounding high lyric mezzo voice, even though she did kind of struggle in a few high notes, but still, she did a superb job as the fourth maid. And of course, Anna Maria Palii's light, lovely, and wonderful fifth maid, which is youthful and quite lovely to listen to. So overall, the singing was really good all around. Not just from the three leading ladies of Lisa Lindstrom, Ingela Brimberg, and Anna Larsson, and not just from the leading men coming from Eric Owens and Wolfgang Ablinger-Speerhacke, but from everyone, whether it be from Jasper Lefers, full-toned, old servant and old tutor, all the way up to Anna Maria Palii's youthful and lovely fifth maid. And the conducting done by Esa-Pekka Salonen was solid all throughout. He did a fine job with the orchestra, and he was able to pay close attention as to make sure that the orchestra and the singers went well together. So overall, with superb soloists all across the border, and especially such fine conducting done by Maestro Esa-Pekka Salonen, this particular concert version of Richard Strauss's Elektra is a must-watch, especially if you are a fan of Lisa Lindstrom, Ingela Brimberg, and or Anna Larsson. And for those of you who watched this particular concert version of Richard Strauss's Elektra live from the Verbier Festival, what did you think of it? Did you feel like Ingela Brimberg, Lisa Lindstrom, and Anna Larsson held up on their own superbly? Did you feel like there was another singer who stole their thunder? Or did you feel like the singing was not really up to par? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in much later this evening where I review Verdi's Nabucco at the Terme di Caracalla. So until then, have a great evening, everybody.